A very good morning to one and all. This is Dr. Pranay Dubte, and today we are going to see the lecture on the topic cyclone and what kind of application we are using in a cyclone study, especially for the geoinformatics. So, cyclone is nothing but one of the disaster which is very often we experience nowadays. So India is having so much coastal area, and cyclone is a disaster that mostly affected on a coastal area. So in context of Indian scenario, in context of India, the study of cyclone is very much important. So we will see what is the cyclone, what is the causes of cyclone, what kind of different classification are giving for the cyclone, a different kind of cyclone. So the objective of this present lecture is to know about the application of remote sensing and GIS in cyclone study, as well as the definition and all about the cyclone. What is exactly the cyclone are? So a cyclone referred for any spinning storm that rotate around the low pressure center. It's a classic basic definition of the cyclone. A cyclone is referred to any spinning storm that rotate around the low pressure center. Closed low level atmospheric circulation, strong wind, and a spiral arrangement of a thunderstorm that produce a heavy rains. So cyclone are characterized by inward spiral wind that rotate about a zone of low air pressure. So warm core cyclones such as tropical cyclone and subtropical cyclone are lie within a synoptic scale. A mesocyclone tornado are lie within a smaller mesoscale. Cyclone are also seen on extraterrestrial planets such as Mars and Neptune. So, when we are talking about the cyclone is nothing but a spinning storm that rotate around a low pressure center. So it originated from the low pressure center, and it close low level atmospheric circulation, strong wind, and spiral arrangement of thunderstorm that produce a heavy rain. So we often seen that during the cyclone we have a very heavy rain and a strong wind up to the 180 and 160 kilometer per hour is a very common during the cyclone. So you may experience because the in India, what the 10-year back, whatever the cyclone intensity and the number of cyclone we face, the from the last 3 to 4 years, as per my own experience, and as you can also seen that the number of cyclone is increased very rapidly. So this intensification of number of cyclone and also the disaster need to be studied for the better approach for this kind of study. A warm core cyclone such as tropical cyclone and subtropical cyclone are lies within a synoptic scale. A warm core cyclone such as tropical cyclone and subtropical cyclones are lie within a synoptic scale. A mesocyclone tornado are lie within the smaller mesoscale. So this is a different kind of storm. Then you have a type of cyclone. Then you have a type of cyclone. The term cyclone actually refer to several different types of storm. There are three type of cyclone. Tropical cyclone, polar cyclone, and mesocyclone. A tropical cyclone, polar cyclone, and mesocyclone. So this is a three different kind of cyclone we have. First one is a tropical cyclone. So tropical cyclone are what most people are familiar with, because these are the cyclone that are occur over the tropical ocean region. Hurricanes and The hurricanes and your what a typhoon are actually type of tropical cyclone. So cyclone is having a different kinds of name. I already explained you the cyclone is having a different kind of name like a hurricane, typhoon, and these all are the a different kind of cyclones we have. So hurricane are found in Atlantic and Northeast Pacific. Typhoon are found in the Northwest Pacific. So depending upon their places where they are formed, we are the different cyclone. So this is a known as a tropical cyclone, means which are very common in the area of what area of your tropical region. So in tropical region, whatever the cyclones are there, we giving a name hurricanes and the typhoon and all. Then then we have a polar cyclone. So polar cyclone are cyclone that occur in a polar region like Greenland, Siberia, and Antarctica. Unlike tropical cyclone, polar cyclone are usually stronger in a winter month. Polar cyclone are cyclone that occur in a polar region like Greenland, Siberia, and Antarctica. Unlike the tropical cyclone, polar cyclone are usually stronger in a winter month. Mesocyclone is a cyclone that is occur when a part of the thunderstorm could start to spin, which may eventually lead to a tornado. Meso means middle. So meso means middle, and mesocyclone is a cyclone that occur when a part of the thunderstorm could start to spin, which may eventually lead to tornado. Meso means middle. So meso means middle, and that's why it is called as a mesocyclone. A formation of cyclone. A formation of cyclone. So tropical cyclone, how the cyclone has been formed, that is a big question to ask, and this big thing to remember how the cyclone has been formed. The cyclone are formed. This is a operation in a low pressure, mostly in a low pressure area, when you have a subsidizing warm air and descending cool air. So this diagram showing the phenomena of how the cyclone is formed. So tropical cyclone form only over warm ocean water near the equator. To form a cyclone, a warm moist air over the ocean rises upward from the near the surface. As this air moves up, air moves up and away from the ocean surface, it leaves is a less air near the surface. So basically, as the warm air rises, it causes an area of lower air pressure below. Air from surrounding area with higher air pressure pushes into the low pressure areas. Then this new cool air become a warm and moist and rises too. And the cycle this continue. As this warm, moist air rises and cools the water in the air, forms clouds. The whole system of clouds and the wind spin and grow, fed by the oceanic heat and water which is evaporating from the ocean surface. As the storm system rotate faster and faster, and I from the center, it is a very calm, clear, and then from above flows down the eye. So this is a phenomena how the you can have the cyclone. This is a phenomena how you can have the cyclone. When the wind in a rotating storm reaches to 39 miles per hour, this is called as a tropical storm. And when wind speed reaches 74 storm, this is called as a tropical cyclone or hurricane. So, kind of this is a different kind of names which we given to the. So there is a different kind of categories which we use for depending upon the speed. Depending upon speed, we use a different kind of categories. Um, Wind, that is up to 125 kilometer per hour. Gale, which we have, the damage for this one is this. So whatever the speed, depending upon the speed, the damage of the whatever the damage has been caused, that is depend upon the speed. So speed up to 125 kilometer is having a damage, like up to the trees and farmland can be damaged by this speed of the cyclone. When you have a speed from 126 to 169 kilometer per hour, so this one is a bit of destructive one, and there is a minor house damage, severe damage to the sign of trees, and a heavy damage to the crop. So whatever the croplands we have, if this one is a peak a time of when there is a uh, crop is near to their cutting and all operations. So that will be cause the that will cause the destructive wind of 126 to 169 kilometer per hour. Then third one, 170 to 224, 170 to 224 kilometer per hour. In this scenario, house roof and most likely power failure. In this case, your house roof and most likely power failure. So this one is when you have speed more than 170 kilometer per hour, your electricity may be cut short due to this all the destructive wind. Then, if when you are going above 1 to 25, that is a very good significant wind speed. You know that if you ride your bike by 150, 170, how much it can be. So this speed is a very you can say the uh, uh, destructive speed, intensive high speed, which can be do whatever the in their route, they can be destroy all the things. So 225 to 279 kilometer per hour, it's very destructive one. Damage is airborne debris, widespread power failure. So the airborne debris means you have whatever the debris flow on the ground can be go your sky, and there is a widespread power failure. One is a local power failure and one is widespread power failure. Local failure means for tehsil and for the village and for the city only. A widespread power failure means for your one of the division, a major division, district, sometime more than one district. So this kind of things can be happen if the speed of the cyclone in the category of 225 to 279 kilometer per hour. Then you have a wind speed above the 280 kilometer per hour. If there is a speed that is about 280 kilometer per hour, there is a total very destructive one, more than 5.5 meter, almost total destruction and extremely dangerous. So if the ocean is goes by the 5.5 meter, means you can imagine the height of the all the things is 15 to 20 meters of the height of the ocean can swell. So that will be disastrous for all the things. So house can be flattened, and car is overturned. So this is a total destruction of most of the area, where which is mostly what we can say the coastal areas. So this is a different categories we have about the cyclone. This is the different categories about the cyclone we have, and depending upon the speed, so different speed is having a different damages. So mostly the speed is whatever uh, whatever the your cyclone is we experiencing, speed is in between the second and third categories mostly occurred. So that one is a common one. So what is the difference? You may heard about a typhoon, hurricane, and cyclone. So what is this mean? So the name is the process is the same, but the name is different only because of the different area is having a different name. The only difference between hurricane, cyclone, and typhoon is the location where the storm is occur. So if you please take in the mind that take in the a scenario that the cyclone, typhoon, and hurricanes are the same one. Definition is for all is the same one. The difference is the only hurricane, cyclone, and typhoon are all the same weather phenomena. We just use a different name for this storm in a different places. In the Atlantic and Northeast Pacific, the term hurricane is used. So the in Atlantic and the Northeast Pacific, the term hurricane is used. The same type of disturbance in the Northwest Pacific is called as a typhoon. So when you are in a Northwest Pacific, the term we used for the this cyclone is typhoon. Cyclone occur in the South Pacific and Indian Ocean. So we called a cyclone when we receive or when we experience such a kind of event. So we called as a cyclone because the in a South Pacific and Indian Ocean it is called as a cyclone. It's called as a cyclone. So the ingredient for this storm include the ingredient for this storm is include the pre-existing weather disturbance, warm tropical ocean, moisture, and relatively light winds. If the right condition persists long enough, they can combine to produce the violent winds. So, what is the causes of cyclone? What is the causes of cyclone? The main source of energy for cyclone is the warm ocean in the tropical region. The main source of energy for the cyclone is the warm ocean in the tropical region. To initiate a tropical cyclone, the sea surface temperature generally need to be above 26.5 degrees Celsius. However, existing cyclone often persisted as they move over a cooler water. The development of the tropical cyclone also relies on a favorable broad-scale wind regime and can persist for several days with the many quite erratic paths. They lose their source of energy when they move over the land and colder ocean, causing them a dissipate. So, the development the development of the tropical cyclone are relies mostly on a broad scale wind regime. So in what wind regime they are get offering, so that will be the most affecting phenomena. Then you have a may also occur weakening may also occur if the cyclone moves into an unfavorable wind regime which disrupt the structure of the system. So sometime a decaying tropical cyclone, sometime a decaying tropical cyclone may interact with the weather system in a higher latitude to cause impact far from the tropics. So what is the impact of cyclone? What is the impact of cyclone? The main impact of the cyclone includes a heavy rainfall, strong wind, and large storm surge at a landfall and tornado. The destruction from a cyclone depend mainly on its intensity, its size, and its location after the cyclone has been passed, devastate, and often continue. Some of the impact of cyclone are, so what is the impact of cyclone? Why the cyclone has been more destructed the areas which they are passing from? So first destruction is in the by the wind. So the wind from the category one cyclone caused minimal damage to the shrubbery and trees. Category 5 storms are the most forceful, bringing wind of more than 156 miles per hour. So it's a very intensified speed. 156 miles is a fair amount of wind that can cause anything. Then the wind, this fact can rip trees from the ground and flatten the buildings. Cyclone that fall in between the costs and varying degree of distraction, including tearing branches from trees and destroying vegetation. Flooding. So cyclone can produce a flooding in two ways. Cyclone can produce a flooding in two ways. First, tropical cyclone, and second one is a erosion. So cyclone can produce flooding in a two ways. First, tropical cyclone frequently causes a surge in ocean water, causing sea area level rise. This surge, sometimes called a tidal wave, can down people and animal and are often the greatest killer in cyclone. Cyclone also can bring torrential rains and that lead to flooding. So cyclone can produce a flooding in two ways. Cyclone can produce flooding in two ways. First, tropical cyclone and in a erosion. So erosion is a cyclone that high wind can erode the soil, thereby damaging existing vegetation and ecosystem. This erosion leaves the area exposed and prone to even more wind erosion. Sand and soil that is blown into the other areas can damage the vegetation. Storm churn. Storm churns are happen when the cyclone winds churn up cold water as it move across the ocean. This churning lower the water temperature after the storm has passed, squeezing and the formation of new storm. So this is a map that's showing the coastal area of the with about the 6% of the worldwide cyclone, with about the 6% of the worldwide cyclone. The subcontinent is one of the worst cyclone affected area of the world. About 8% of the about about 8% of the your world total land area in India, the particularly along the eastern coast and Gujarat coast is vulnerable to the cyclone. Indian Ocean is one of the six major Indian Ocean is one of the six major cyclone-prone region of the world. Uh, on an average, about 5 to 6% of tropical cyclones are formed in a Bay of Bengal and the Arabian Sea every year. The eastern coast is most prone to the cyclone. The total cyclone generated in the Indian Ocean strikes the east coast of India. There are two definite seasons of cyclone in the North Indian Ocean. One is from May to June, and other from the total cyclone generated in the Indian Oceans. So there are two definite seasons of the cyclone in the North Indian Ocean. One is from May to June, and other from the mid September to mid December. This there is some severe cyclone the large number of large number of uh, there is a large number of cyclone that will be gone by means we will experiencing. So first one, or what we can say, the one of the cyclone that we experiencing for the last year is a cyclone named Komen. A cyclone named Komen. Uh, Komen is a what we can say the it is in a 2015. In Andhra Pradesh, the cyclone named Leher occurred in a year 2013. Hudhud in 2014 is a very famous one. Hudhud in 2014 is a famous one, and that will be cause of a major destruction. In Kerala, also the cyclone named Nada. The cyclone named Nada that will be uh, occurred in 2016. 2016. So this there is a many cyclone that will be occurred in the last year and this year also. Recently, we will also having a Taute cyclone. In Maharashtra, the cyclone named ARB02 occurred in 1994. Phayan in 2009. Phayan is almost a very dangerous one. So this was in Tamil Nadu, the cyclone named Madi in 2013, Ronu in 2016, Kant in 2016, Nada in 2016, and Ward in 2016. So Tamil Nadu is having so much of cyclone during the 2016. So what is the effect of cyclone? Why the cyclone is more dangerous to us? So the cyclone causes a heavy rainfall. Cyclone causes a heavy rainfall. So during this rainfall, the cyclone is having a most of the what we can say the cyclones is having a most of the rainfall during this one. They cause lot of harm to the town and villages. They cause a lot of harm to the town and villages, causing to the severe damage to the house. Coastal businesses like shipyard and oil wells are destroyed and causes many deaths in the ocean, and money can also lost if the ship is carrying expensive cargo. So the the most effect of the most severe effect of this one is it causes the heavy rainfall and landslide in the area where there is a susceptible areas where the slope is having a chances of failure. They cause a lot of harm to the town and villages, causing severe damage to the kucha houses. And so the kacha houses is mostly the houses which is not a concrete one. So shipyard of the oil well, and this one will be destroyed. Shipyard of this one may be destroyed because of the oil will be destroyed because of the many deaths in the ocean, and money can also be lost if the ship is carrying expensive cargo. They harm the ecosystem of the surrounding region. They will destroy all the things and harm the ecosystem. Civic facilities are disrupted. Civic facilities are disrupted. Agricultural land is severely affected by this one, especially in terms of water supply and soil erosion. It 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 causes the harm to human, plant, and animal life. Communication system are broadly affected due to the cyclone. Cyclone are the social cost is also hampered due to this one. Education and other services destroyed. Increased burden government to the rebuild areas affected, and meant for the other projects must now be used to repair the damage done by the cyclone. Cyclone can make the sewage pipes blocks up and stop working, and sewage can split everywhere. So what kind of safety measure we have to take for the cyclone? Check with your local council, check with your local council or your building control authority to see if your home has been built to the cyclone standard. So if you are living in a cyclone area in a coastal area, what kind of safety measure you have to take for the to avoid or to have a minimum impact of this cyclone? So what kind of safety features or measures you can take? Check, go and check to the authority, municipal corporation, and whatever the authority which is a major authority in all your area, PWD or something like that, and check that whether your home has been built in a cyclone as per cyclone standard. So if your home is not as per the cyclone standard, do the things or make it what necessary things are there. Check that the wall, roof, and eave of your home are secure. If you are living in a cyclone prone area, check that whether the walls, roof, and eaves of your home are secure enough. Then you have preferably fit shutters, at least a metal screen, at least a metal screen you have to all glass areas. Clear your property of loose material that could blow about the possibly cause injury damage during the extreme wind. So if you have a property that is not what we can say the that is mostly fit into the not good, possibly it will be cause an injury or destroy during the wind. So have to look at before the this one. So then you have a cyclone issue. Then you have a cyclone when the cyclone is watch is issue. So recheck your property for any loose material. Recheck your property for any loose material and tie between the all large relative light item such as boat and rubbish bins. Fill vehicle, fuel tank, and check your emergency kit, fill water container, all. Ensure a household member know which the strongest part of the house and what to do in the event of cyclone warning or evacuation. Tune to your local radio TV for further information and warning. So mostly the radio are the better equipment to be used because of the in case of TV and also you might have your antenna and all things are not working properly. You may not have electricity to carry this one. So if you have your radio, local radio on, which is function by the your what we can say the on a sale to chargeable sale. So you have a tune to your local radio to buy this radio units so that you have a what we can say the information and warning. Check that neighbors are aware of the situation are preparing. When the warning, the cyclone warning is needing, people should evacuate faster as soon as warning is issued. If requested by local authority, collect the children from the school, collect the or childcare and go to the home. So this is some of the things which you have to take care of. Park your vehicle under the vehicle under the what we can say the park your vehicle under the solid shelter so you can have a better things to do. Put wooden or plastic outdoor furniture in your pool or inside with other loose items. Close shutter and broad of the heavily tap all windows. When the cyclone strike, disconnect all the electricity appliance because the you may be having much more voltage to the your appliance can be damaged due to that more voltage. So if you want to save your this all the device, disconnect if it is not necessary to connect. Listen to your battery radio for updates. Stay inside the shelter in the strongest part of the building. So you have to first find out which is the part, which is the protected part in your building. If the building start to break up, protect yourself with the matters, rugs and blanket under the strong table or bench, or hold on a solid fixture that is a water pipe. So that is some of the things to do yeah, during the cyclone. Beware the calm eye. If the wind drop, don't the cyclone is over. Violent wind will soon resume from the another direction. Wait for the official to wait for the official to the known as all clear. So the cyclone may become intensity get decreased. So you think that the cyclone is over and you will just go out and do the normal stuff. Don't do like that. Take update from radio or whatever the media you have, and stay for or wait for the official to announce that all are clear. You can go now. So this is the things you can have after the cyclone. Don't go outside until officially advised it is safe. Check for a gas leak. Don't use electric appliance if wet, because you know that electricity and water is having a connection. So if you use this one, the appliance, the, that will be having a electricity in all the house. Listen to the local radio for the official warning and advices. If you have to evacuate or did so earlier, don't return until the advice. Use the recommend route and don't rush. Beware of damaged power lines. Beware uh, beware the damaged power line, breach building, trees, and don't enter flood water. Do not drink water from the unknown source, as it may be contaminated. So this is a tropical cyclone Helen forecast track. So you can have a satellite image and what we are using to for this one. So cyclone forecasting involves predicting where a tropical cyclone is going to track over the next 5 days, every 6 to 12 hours. The forecasting has evolved from a single station approach to comprehensive approach, which uses a variety of meteorological tools and methods to make a prediction. The weather of the particular location can show sign of approaching cyclone, such as increasing swell, falling barometric pressure, and increasing tides and heavy rainfall. So, although the tropical cyclone is known for the destruction, when they strike, they bestow certain benefit to the climate condition that area. Management of cyclone. There are many structural and non-structural measures for effective disaster management. The structural measures include the construction of cyclone shelter and whatever the communication and power transmission network. Cyclone refer to any spinning storm rotate around a low pressure area. So, what now? What is the next? Is the what kind of what we can say, the what is the use of the GIS and the remote sensing in a cyclone study? So first term is the cyclone forecasting, the early warning system. So if you are not having a early warning system, if you don't have a early warning system, you may have a this what we can say, the in trouble. So you may have in trouble. So tropical cyclone are intense low pressure system which develop over the warm sea. They are capable of causing a immense damage. They are capable of causing a immense damage. Due to the strong wind, heavy rains, and storm surge, the frequency of the cyclone, tropical cyclone in the Bay of Bengal is 4 to 5 times more than that in the Arabian Sea. India Meteorological Department is a mandate to monitor, give warning regarding the based observation being extensively utilized. So IMD is one who take care of this all the cyclonic prediction and whatever the warning we issue. So we have a network of the different instrument we planted in the seas, ocean, so in Bay of Bengal and all, to provide a meteorological and oceanographic data. So dynamic forecasting of tropical cyclone require knowledge of vertical structure of both the cyclone and surrounding environment. The goal of any warning system is to maximize the number of people who take appropriate timely action for the safety of life and property. All warning systems start with the detection of the event and with the people getting out of a harm way. Such a warning system encompasses three equally important elements, namely detection, warming, and communication and response. So, assessment of cyclone damage. During the cyclone, the remote sensing data provide timely and detailed information that are required by the authorities to locate and identify the affected areas and to implement corresponding damage mitigation. It is essential that information be accurate and timely in order to address emergency situation. That is a dealing with the diversion of inundated water, evacuation, rescue and resettlement, water pollution, health hazard, and handling and interruption of utilize, etc. Some important special output produced and analyzed in real time. The disaster extent maps real time monitored by the remote sensing data and damage of the building and infrastructure maps were prepared. Moreover, a meteorological report based on the real time remote sensing data are required to show intensively estimate movement and the expected equation of rainfall for the next 3 hours. The relief in this stage, rebuilding destroyed damaged facilities, adjustment of the existing infrastructure will occur. The time factor is not as critical as the last stage. Nevertheless, both the medium high resolution remote sensing and together with the operational GIS can help to plan many tasks. The medium resolution data can establish the extent of the damage, whereas high resolution data are suitable for the pinpointing the location and 56 degree of damage. So you can have what is the damage means what kind of damage has been done by the cyclone. You can assess damage very at means after the week when you have get satellite images. For the physical verification, you need more time to get road if there is any road get connected and all the things. So they also be used to as reference map to rebuild the bridges, wash out the road, homes and other facility. So this is what the GIS can be used. So in the conclusion, what we are now seeing from this all disaster management has to be multidisciplinary and proactive approach. The disaster management has to be multidisciplinary and proactive approach. Bases various measures for the putting in place institutional and policy framework, disaster prevention, mitigation and preparedness initiative being taken by the central and state government and other organization, and media also have a key role in the play of achieving our goal to moving together towards a safety country. So remote sensing data are or data and the technique along with the GIS proven their usefulness in disaster management for the planning and for the rescue and post disaster operations. So GIS help to interpret GIS can help to interpret information by creating a satellite-based thematic layer. So you have a satellite-based data and show the spatial dimension of the affected areas. It has been become easier to carry out the disaster management operation efficiency, and studies have helped in the making it in a initial stages of the search and rescue operation. That is a technique like satellite image and GIS helps to identify areas that are disaster prone, sorting them according to risk magnitude. Inventory population and asset of risk, simulating a damage scenario. These tools are even useful in managing disaster as they proven instant access to the information required in the management decision. A modern communication system have also proven very useful, particularly in the search and the rescue operation. They not only help in providing warning before the disaster, but also help in creating awareness, which helps in reducing panic, confusion, and mental stress. A communication network system helps in establishing contact between relief team, which is the better central coordination can work more efficiently. So it is about what is the kind of GIS and remote sensing can be useful for the disaster for the cyclone study. This is some of the MCQ questions regarding this lecture, you can go to LMS and sort it out. This one. This is a question for in your LMS about this lecture. Thank you. Thank you for listening this lecture. So this is all about your what we can say the cyclone study. What kind of remote sensing and GIS application, or what kind of things we can use for a better prediction pre, during, and post a cyclone event. So, what kind of studies, hazard map, and all we will do before the your hazard before your cyclone, during the during your what we can say the cyclone, different kind of what we can say different kind of route for the evacuation. You can uh, plan this one using a GIS and maps, and the post, so damage assessment is also there. So different kind of studies you can do with the GIS, different kind of studies you will do with the GIS. So this is how you can study the most of the disaster and these hazards, so using your GIS and remote sensing. So satellite data, high resolution satellite data is required. A basic requirement for this one is the high resolution satellite data, and some of the satellite is also giving the real time information about the movement of the cyclone. Like Kalpana satellite, we have named after the Kalpana Chawla, one of the astronomer which India is having in the past. So Kalpana is a satellite which given you the exact information about the path, speed, and what is the timing that they will get hit to the coastal area of this state, and this state. So this is how about all about a cyclone and application of cyclone, remote sensing and GIS in a cyclone. Thank you very much for listening this lecture. Hope you will understand this concept, and we will meet in the next lecture. Thank you. Thank you all.